What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. The best value in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Might not be found on the market, but instead on tomorrow's 24-hour stream. I think it's fair I get to use Market Watch to shout myself out sometimes, like using this code down below. But let me show you actually a couple things we're giving away on the 24-hour stream tomorrow. Some of these will be actually completely free. You just have to be in the chat. Others are for people who have supported all, like, the entire month since the last 24-hour stream. And others are for people who end up helping out during this 24-hour stream. But we've got an Ophidian. Actually, this is probably one of my favorite mats by them. Dual color Kyogre Groudon mat. We've got a meta mat, actually a very special one. It is their new material. It is water resistant, and we'll actually have the regular version of this to give away too, along with a cloth back. Another Ophidian mat coming up here with your grill, your favorite grill perhaps, Construct on one side, and Necroface on the other. And then a similar color, a little bit of a darker purple, with the brand new Gym playmat featuring the art of Kagari. And I believe we've got Ibly and Griffin over on the two-player side, or one-player side, depending on what deck you're playing, if you're playing the Nightmares. So a bunch of playmats to give away. We're also going to have $300 in credit from Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. We're going to have $100 in credit from Troll and Toad, and then maybe some dueling book codes to give you guys also. But let's get into that regular content. But seriously, I think that's the biggest giveaway Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever seen. So that's pretty awesome to be able to say that, thanks to sponsors and other companies reaching out. So thank you everyone making that possible. But Widow Anchor is fallen like an anchor. Weird. It's almost like I called this. I said it would be back towards 50 very quickly, but it's falling even more so towards its original price point as we see on eBay, with a brand new listing at 42 before 47, etc. 42 is about where it was, spiking to before this rush for them happened. So seeing one already back on market, even though it's an independent seller, etc., it's nice to see this for sure. Engage has also fallen back. It was above 100. It was like 105. Quickly falling back towards 95. So, like, at regionals and YCSs, the major OTS vendors, if a card goes above 100, they'll typically still try to deal with it at 99.99 because that's the most you can sell a card for in the room. Sorry I wasn't clear on that before. People were asking why vendors couldn't do that. It's OTS vendors at regionals and YCSs. So, like, if a card's 110, they would lose, you know, about 10% selling it online. They'll still sell it for 100, and it will help kind of cool something that's bordering. It really has to go towards 120 and above for them to, like, not start dealing with it in the room. So typically they will go for a price around there, and that helps actually cool the price a little bit at events, even though the demand can go wild and crazy for it. So nice to see this dropping and cooling just a little bit, and I hope that it continues to do so. But a card that we really thought would cool off as well as Infinite Impermanence, which is bubbling up again on TCG Player. 86, 88, 89, heading towards that $90 point again over there. But we see new listings, $80, $80, $80, $83 over here on eBay. So entire playsets available and about the $80 range right here. Two of the, actually all three with best offer available. So maybe if you hit them with a 75, they'll go, all right. So you never know. Best offer is always nice to be able to actually perhaps get a deal on eBay, something that I kind of wish TCG Player would have, but I can also see as a seller getting irritated with that, being like, I don't want to deal with offers all the time. So it'd be a nice option, I would think, but I guess TCG Player has no problem helping their vendors sell their cards overall as we see these higher prices. Continuing down, Ghost Bell also calming down just a little towards the $55 mark. Like I said, I figured we'd see it rush towards 50 very quickly, and we're seeing that as well. And something to note, some solid value here that I didn't expect to stay low after the rule change. Multi-Faker is just straight chilling here at the $12 mark. It is not going anywhere. It's staying where it was at, and I'm shocked by that. I think this is a very stable, somewhat budget option for us here at the WCQ. I think this is a very stable option, and to see it just kind of chill out after that rule announcement, it's interesting. It's very interesting to see that. Nightmare Goblin is also staying pretty stable around 11 as well. 3 of versus, you know, a lot of people are only playing 1 of. But at the same time, it's kind of understandable because Nightmare Goblin ends up in so many different extra decks, basically anything using the Nightmares. I'm actually really kind of shocked at how stable the Secret Rare Nightmares have stayed too. I guess they just end up in a lot more decks, the Griffin and the Unicorn. They end up in a lot more decks overall than, say, the Mech Knights, right? So, and it's an extra deck access card, which has always kind of stayed up a little. So it's nice to kind of see that they're staying up there for the people that have spent their money on them, but for people that were looking to get in the deck, hoping that it would fall, you might have to end up spending a little. Also, to note, Flood is the set not in the Megatons, which might be why people are spending so confidently on impermanence, why they're spending so confidently on stuff like Iblee here back up to 42. It's pretty much why people are like, I think this is fine. It shouldn't go down too much, and it'll still see a drop-off after the competitive season, especially people who don't plan on attending the 200th, but we do have that ramp up. We have that ramp up, and it's gonna be crazy. Speaking of solid value, something that I told you guys to go for a while back, just sitting there like a rock, Ancient Gear Fusion, just stable value, Crystal Bond, stable value, and something that's actually been going down a little bit that you guys might want to consider is Millennium Eyes Restrict. I've seen some decks play Instant Fusion, play this deck in their deck in order to kind of shut off hand traps, and I think it's not one of the worst options to have, and it's nice to see it slowly creeping down. It's not short printed like the first 3 cards. Ancient Gear Fusion, Crystal Bond, and Cocoon are actually shorter printed, and we've seen Cocoon actually just creeping up over time. It's kind of cute. But Millennium Eyes Restrict, I think, is way better than Cocoon. It should maintain a price above $10, and it's something to consider that is very good. And speaking of Instant Fusion, the Ultimates are creeping down a little bit on TCG Player. We have Motivated Sellers. Of course, like all the duels who were just using this for Pendulum FTK are going to be letting it go from the competitive scene. So as you watch this price go down, maybe decide when you want to finally trade for your highest rarity Instant Fusion. This card ends up in format after format. You can summon Winda, you can summon Raijin. There's so many cards Instant Fusion can summon, just like Millennium Eyes Restrict, that are insane that you might want access to later, like Theseus, Best Monster 2K17. So we actually see the value is already above that on eBay, and then quickly rises to 35 with just 3 copies gone, versus 27. $8 is a pretty big difference in price there. So shop smart, shop around, and see, maybe it'll go down over time, but I definitely think this is just a card you want to have that will have stable value if you're looking to get rid of your Megaton cards like Saryuja, like Borreload during this time. Things to trade for are things like this that have potential to go up but also show stable value over time. Now, sometimes you wish there was stable value, and sometimes it just doesn't end up being so. Pot of Desires is a great example of something I thought might stay around that 25-30 mark, but it's just gone down after its buyout. It's just crept down, and we see First Ed near mints all the way back down under $15. This is a card people are still gonna play. This is still an amazing card, but I guess BA found the replacement with Light of Sekka, oddly enough, which is kind of funny, and other decks like just some don't play it, some do. I think Desires is still an amazing card. I think the First Ed Secrets will still have value later, but it's crept down almost back to the price originally before the buyout, which was like $12. We're seeing them near 15, and on eBay it's actually above 15. So again, TCG Player seeming to have the motivated sellers this weekend. This is still stable value to trade for that can go up over time. So I'm just suggesting things that, hey, you might want to use your big brain. Go on your floor at regionals, trade for things like Pot of Desires, Instant Fusion, the cards out of here, out of your Ancient Millennium packs, and go for stable value with the cards that would be from the Megatons. Something that's kind of funny to me is that Secret 6 Samurai Fuma is almost the most expensive card out of Spirit Warriors. It's been creeping, slow creeping on the rest of them. The others are barely ahead now. 832. Snow falling now officially below 7 for a couple. Fuma has crept up in this set. And it's kind of cool, and I think it shouldn't be underestimated because it's a level 1 warrior tuner with good attributes that works with Isolde, and I just think, don't underestimate this man's. I certainly did at first, and he's proven to me on Dueling Book in those low-tier hero decks that he has potential for meta play, and Diagram didn't get hit like we thought it would, so people have been slowly chipping away at the quantities of these, picking them up. It's something to not sleep on. It actually could become the most expensive thing out of Spirit Warriors. I'm not even kidding. Stable 7s on both platforms, guys. And then finally, just looking at the Invoked, remember that these have reprints coming. Invocation has fallen slowly down to the $20 mark from around 25. Mechaba, I think, was like towards 45. We're seeing 35s now. It's nice to see them slow drip, but if you're trying to play an Invoked deck at the WCQ, which doesn't really appear in the meta currently, so maybe you're hoping people wouldn't expect it, you're going to be still spending a pretty penny that will be declining. So I do heavily suggest, unless you just feel Invoked is the call, to go with Spiral Nightmare, to go with Altergeist, to go with the Brandish Maidens, whatever you're comfortable with besides this if you're thinking of value. But if you think you're going to rob the WCQ with an Invoked deck, you think you're just going to take everyone blind, it's not the worst option. Let's actually go price shipping lowest first. Buy it now over here. And, oh, we see more motivated sellers, 30s. Now, again, the problem buying stuff like this online is you don't know if it's Europrint because the Europrint's very bendy on Fusion Enforcers, as it was with a couple past sets. So buying Invocations online can be a little dangerous. Actually, like, you see how this is claimed near mint, but we can actually just see how warped it is from the picture. You can actually see the bend in the top. That's what I'm talking about. And then it curves like down on this other side. It's like bending the other way. So even though that seller has it at near mint, you do want to be very careful buying the Invoked engine online. It's something I really stress trying to get in person, and maybe you can find a deal from somebody who doesn't want to sit on it till the reprints. So thanks for watching today's Market Watch and putting up with me. Hopefully you do join the 24-hour stream tomorrow, noon Central Friday, all the way till noon Central Saturday. I won't be at Jersey, but I'll be there with you in Spirit Duelist, and I certainly hope you guys do have a good time there. But if you're not at Jersey, or even if you're hanging out late at night, if you're just talking in the chat, you might win some of our free giveaways. We'll probably have some Dueling Book codes too. We've had some of those lately to give away, so I'll see if I can get some. But generally, this is, I believe, the biggest giveaway in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost, I would say over $800 in value or something insane. It's pretty crazy. So be sure to join, tune in. Definitely there will be stuff for you to win completely free. But if you do give, of course you have chances to win more stuff. So support the stream if you can. I know those wallets are so empty from the Brandish Maidens already, the Sky Strikers, and the Battles of Legends on the horizon, but the best value just might be there.